Welcome to Nobody's Opinion as delivered by the Devil's Advocate on Nobody's Request, where nobody's opinion is something nobody cares about. A little disclaimer: nobody's opinion is really not anybody's business, but if somebody feels offended by nobody's opinion, please remember, nobody cares. Hi there. Yeah, nobody's opinion. It's quite something sometimes. Yeah, nobody rocked up here and gave me an opinion on something, which I had to go and look at now and try and now listen. Of course, always do to nobody's opinion, and but of course, you know, I'm the devil's advocate. I have to go and try and find other stuff as well, and of course, one of the devil's complaints is that I don't really prepare well for things. But, you know, I'm not off on a big wooden ship to go and find the end of the earth, see if it's flat or not. I'm just, you know, being the devil's advocate, you know, stirring a little bit here and stirring there. But nobody's opinion on logic and the search for logic and common sense, you know, where has that gone to? On this was more kind of given to me with a twinkle in nobody's eye, because nobody actually pointed out a specific part of this video posted by a young man called Micheal Moreno. And the title of his video is High School Debaters Lose Round for Reading Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson. And nobody's opinion, well, pointed to 24 minutes and 56 seconds there, where someone I think is the coach of Micheal Moreno and his fellow debater, Michael... I'm talking nonsense. I'm bullshitting here. It's a Western Burnett. I think he's kind of the coach or a teacher or something, because they're at high school or college or something. But the topic of the debate was about the United States federal government should substantially reduce restrictions on legal immigrations. And nobody's got an opinion on that. And, you know, I kind of go like, yeah, reduce the restrictions, you know. I'd like to get into the US. No, not really. I'm happy living here. But I would like it if it's easier for me to you know, get to to go and visit the US every now and again. You know, being the devil's advocate, you know, on the no-fly list. No, I'm not. I'm definitely not important enough for that. So anyway, back to this. Just quickly in general, the video itself, this debate that this young man had, and his debating partner, it is just mind blowing. I mean, it's difficult to follow, especially somebody like me. I'm not a big fan of rap music, but I think mainly because I can't listen fast. I don't listen in general, but he's really a very, very intellectual young man, and I'm sure there's going to be a bright future for him if he keeps his head straight. But they've at the position of opposing this statement, and he quoted from Ben Shapiro and Professor Jordan Peterson, who, by the way, I've looked at a lot of their talks and listened to them, and you know, in my mind, they're kind of liberal. And I know Professor Jordan Peterson has stressed it many times. He's not talking about politics. Although politics is part of our lives, you know, these people make decisions for everybody. So, Micheal was the attempt from the opposing debating team was to silence him and his debating partner because they are white. Yeah, they are white. And they have white privilege. And by quoting Ben Shapiro and Jordan Peterson, who are white supremacists, amazing, he is a racist. Now, this Micheal Moreno, I just think it is incredible. And the bias of the judge on this debating competition is just, you know, the word firing squad came to mind, you know, being the devil's advocate, and I thought, well, you know, bullets cost money. It's not even worth, you know, having this guy executed in front of firing squad. I'm not saying he should be executed. Yeah, I never said that. But I'm saying it's not worth it. It's not worth the price of a bullet. Because this guy is a complete idiot. This judge, complete fucking idiot. Okay, so go and watch that. I'll put the link to it because YouTube threatened to take it off and blah, blah, blah. All the YouTube liberal, new leftist liberal policies. I think YouTube is a great medium, a good channel, and they should stop their crap. You know, give people, you know, if ISIS can post videos, why can't this young man post a video? Nobody's opinion, of course, is that this young man, Micheal, was done in. He was, this was unfair treatment towards him, and I kind of have to kind of support that because the debating team, you know, if the debate things, blimey, the debate is there so that when there's a difficult topic, we have to talk about it. And me, being the devil's advocate, I must still make myself a t-shirt. You know, this is what I love doing. I love it. I love to take the opposite position. Because if we just allow one group to say something, that's what they call a narrative. Well, of course, if it's common sense and you know, it's logic, nobody have to really complain about it. But even that we have to still debate. And this is what happens in parliaments. This happens in court. And you cannot just silence somebody because of their ethnicity or their gender. I mean, if someone, you know, we shouldn't be debating moral issues such as murder, you know, premeditated murder. It shouldn't be debated. You don't do it. That's it. You can defend yourself. That's not murder. That is killing someone, taking someone's life when you have to defend yourself. Because surely if you had time to plan your defense in the same context as premeditated murder, you could have prevented the person from, say for instance, attacking you in the first place. Yeah, and you would have. I mean, that's the first kind of defense, you know. Either take off and run, or bloody well, you know, big fences or whatever, call the police or whatever. So we need to have debate objectively without insulting each other on a personal level. But you can call me what you want. I've got plasters for the pain of offence and stitches, and I've got some cast, you know, in case your offence break a bone in my body. I can put it, split it, you know, splint it and put it in a cast and stuff. So, okay, I don't mind that so much. But now, quickly, I leave that there. To this point, 24 minutes and 50 plus seconds. So, Micheal Moreno sounds like he's got a coach or somebody teaching a teacher or someone, because he's in high school or college in America. And this coach, I have to listen to what the guy's saying. He's basically saying, I'm going to just break it down. He's basically telling him, listen, because you're opposing this new liberal attempt, the substantially reducing restrictions on legal immigration, because you're opposing that, you're going to come in as a conservative, more on the right side. But what you have to do is you have to take into account how the judge might feel about this, and other people. And what you need to do is you need to carefully and slowly come in. It's kind of made me thought about spoon feeding, which doesn't work with neoliberals. Modern, what's all the word, post-modern Marxist, whatever. This just doesn't work with these people. But he's advising them. You have to come in carefully, and you've got to like kind of sugarcoat all these facts that you want to bring in as a debater, taking part in the debate, opposing a statement, which should be just something which that's how debate works. How the fuck else does it work? Gee. Anyway, this is not me. Nobody's opinion. He's unfortunately a bit of a foul mouth. So, but what nobody wanted to rub in my face a little bit this morning was that point, 24 minutes and 56 seconds, where Micheal Moreno's coach gives him all this, like, go listen to it if you're interested. It's just unbelievable. I mean, it's like a stop sign in a road. If you stop, it's there for a reason. Stop. Look around. Safe. Go ahead. It's not like the police department is kind of like having girls, maybe some topless girls. That's maybe sexist. Some topless girls and topless men and some topless transvestites and people with gender identity problems. They just have a lot of topless people down the road, and maybe a couple of puppies, a string of ducks going across the road, all to prepare you for this stop sign. It's like, because it's going to, I've got to stop. I'm offended. This is what this guy's basically saying to him. But he rounds it off with saying, why would anybody advocate for the devil? Now, when nobody made me aware of this and giving his opinion, I had to decide if I'm going to be offended or am I just going to laugh. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try and keep this short. Let's see where this quote of the Devil's Advocate comes from. I'm going to do this really quickly, and I can't find the person who wrote this. I would love to credit them, but it's on phrases.org.uk. I just quickly went there to the first one that I saw, and I'm reading it for you. The question is, what's the meaning of the phrase Devil's Advocate? Figuratively, one who takes a contrary position for the sake of testing an argument, or just to be perverse. Perverse, I don't know. It kind of makes me think of, somebody walking around with a jacket and flashes. And nowadays, because you're not allowed to. What do you call those people that does that flashing again? Men. It was men, of course, but you're not allowed to talk about men. And this is actually very exciting, because women can start doing this. I might be in the park a lot more. Maybe that's perverse now. perverse. Anyway, okay, I'm reading here. I'm quoting. What's the origin of the phrase "the devil's advocate"? The term "devil's advocate" was brought into English in the 18th century from the medieval Latin expression "advocatus diaboli." To describe someone as a devil's advocate now is to suggest that they are mischievous and contradictory, being contradictory for the sake of it. Yeah, that's me. Okay, in medieval Europe, devil's advocate wasn't seen so negatively. It was like chamberlain or courtwainer, which are actually job titles. Okay, there are various mentions in Vatican records dating. There are various mentions in Vatican records dating from the early 1500s of an informal role called Diaboli Advocatus. Okay, now, that's 1587 was Pope Sixtus. I'm not loosely quoting here. Pope Sixtus V. He established this post, which is the promoter of faith, and it was called Advocatus Diaboli, which the writer, you have to give the writer credit, which surely must have been the same role as Diaboli Advocatus, which that is a devil's advocate statement, or a little line, being a little bit mischievous. Advocatus Diaboli, Diaboli Advocatus. Okay, the job description, well, this guy didn't really have a big job. Because being devil's advocate, you just wait for somebody to say something, and then you pull it a little bit apart, and then you come from a different direction, and annoy them to think about what they said, irritate them, so they can start thinking about what they said. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right. Might be wrong, but after the discussion, which is a debate, then I've learned something as well. Okay, so what this guy did, the Diaboli Advocatus, when somebody was going to be canonized or a beatification was going to take place, this person had to go and dig through all the things and see which prostitutes they've paid off to silence them, and murders they've committed, and I don't know, they're going to dig up all the trash on this person, if there is any. So, this is a nice job. I would have liked it. But, of course, if you can't find anything, then you've proven that this person is impeccable, and according to the Roman Catholic faith, then they can give this person the honor of being then blessed or canonized. Okay, the first time this was used in a humorous text was in 1760, by rising up and playing the true part of the devil's advocate. I think that's a quote from something. Okay, so now I've said that part, and now we all know that. So now I'm going to go back to something else. So if this person, if you use a sentence, if you use the devil's advocate, in a sense, and a lot of people don't really know this, and I don't blame them. You're allowed to have some ignorance on things, as long as you promise me you'll try and go and figure it out, and if you want to have an opinion about it. But if you talk about the devil, then you're giving acknowledgement to the Torah, which a lot of people know as the Old Testament, because I'm sure, I don't know if the Quran speaks about the concept of a devil, but in the Torah, Satan was translated to devil, but we still use Satan, but Satan means basically the opposer of something, So, I'm thinking of something now. Yeah. If you use this thing of the devil's advocate, in some sense you're giving acknowledgement of the fact that its origin. Now the origin is, many people know, this is a story, lots of people know, it doesn't matter if you're Christian or not. It's about Eve in the garden, the apple, and the devil that was there enticing her to eat this. This of course a lot of people that knows the Torah a lot better than me. I've done some self search education to find out some stuff for myself, but what I found is that no, this figure called the devil did not sit on her chest and force an apple down her throat. That didn't happen. I'm sorry that I'm call it gender here, because Eve was female in that sense, but let's stick with that. Don't jump up and down. If you want to jump up and down, jump up and down. It's also good. It's good exercise if you physically do it. He just asked questions. Is it true that you're not allowed to eat from the tree in the middle of the garden? I still think it was cannabis tree, but anyway. And she said, yeah, it's true. So why? Now you'll die. And he said, yeah, you won't. I mean, you won't die. Of course she's not going to die. She ate the apple. She took it back to Adam. He ate some of it. And if you read the Torah, which is not a scientific book, it is it's a book on people's experiences. It's an experiential book. Is that the right word? If it's not nowadays. And they lived quite a number of years after that. So she didn't die eating that from the tree there. Okay, long term, She didn't say, no, if we eat from that tree, eventually I'm going to die. No, she didn't say that. She just said we're going to die. And of course, he said, no, you're not. You can eat it. Take a bite. Still alive? Yeah, you're still alive. So, what the opposer did was exactly what the Catholic Church used. It was that. It was going asking questions about things, So you now get many years ago there was a person who drove drunk, intoxicated, and killed a child, and in court blamed the devil for it. And there was a search done to find the devil's driver's license, which, of course, they will. I don't know, maybe a pickup truck kind of guy. I don't know. I don't know if you really need to drive a vehicle or anything like that. No, bullshit, buddy. You went to the pub, you got drunk. You weren't pushed in a pram by the devil, and the devil handed you a bottle or a teat, and no, that didn't happen. You went there, you got drunk, you ordered, you went in there sober, no? You ordered the drink, paid for it with your hard-earned money. This specific person worked, so there's a lot of people that pay with stolen money, but still, to steal stuff is also work. It's not good work, but it's work. So, no, this whole bullshit about blaming the devil for everything, it's become something where we can stand back and say, it's just the devil, it wasn't me. Bullshit. Take responsibility for your actions. Stop blaming the devil. Because all what the opposer, Satan, did was woke up in our consciousness, because we're conscious beings, woke up that thing about, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can bash this guy's skull in with a stone. Yeah, I can pick up a stone. Yeah, I can actually, got some nice movement there. Hey, check it over there and bash him with it. You can do it. and Satan made you aware. So it's a good thing. You know, we continuously have to think about these things. Somebody commits a murder, beyond all doubt, admits to it, everything is there in place, should be, nobody's opinion is that person should get the death penalty. But what I'm trying to say is that, when that person has shown remorse, served their sentence in jail or whatever happened, they people will go like, that's nice, No, it's not nice. That person is not an ex-murderer. That person is not, or alcoholic. It's nothing like an ex-alcoholic or an ex-drug addict or an ex-thief. No, there's not something like that. It's nothing like an ex-liar. No. An excuse and to be to show remorse. It's good. And if it's that your kind of thing, then good. But actually means nothing. That the not doing it ever again in your life, that is what it is. That's when you know. That's when you know. I'm not saying if somebody has remorse, it's not right. Of course, it's a healthy process, dealing with these issues and stuff. So, why would anybody advocate for the devil? What a stupid statement. Stupid. Devil's not doing stuff. We're doing it. We are doing it. We make decisions to do it, And they look, I don't know, church basement, or I don't know where you would expect to find the devil. No, buddy. Politicians, banks, everywhere. Maybe your neighbor. Yeah, there it is. There it is. So, nobody's opinion this morning was more about me just giving some clarity about this. That there's nothing wrong with it. Stop crying. Stop crying. Yeah. Wipe those tears off. People should have a right to raise an argument, to defend the argument within moral, common sense boundaries. I mean, that's fairly pedophile. You know where I'm going with this. But I'm almost finished. Just back to the video, and I hope you guys will go and watch that. And there's lots of other videos like this, where the race card is thrown and personal, personal. They play the man, not the ball. It gets it's done so many times by the leftist liberal new Marxism type of people. They like doing that, so it's like verbal diarrhea. There's nothing substantial to it. Maybe a little bit of art pieces, but it's in general it's just nothing. And they like doing that. And what is happening? What is taking place now is that when Stalin and Mao and Hitler, when they did what they did, they murdered a lot of intellectual people. They targeted these groups and took them out because they didn't want anybody there with common sense to talk to the average people, to the sheeple. They took care of them, took them out, murdered them, shot them, some in a forest, gassed them, whatever they did, starved them like Stalin did. This new group is doing it a little bit different, and they have actually infiltrated the intellectual institutions. And when you have, but so-and-so said that because so-and-so's got a degree in this and that and this, so it must be true. So what's happening is that the narrative is being pushed to the extent where it will be accepted as the truth. It's me, 12 o'clock at night, telling you the sun's up. And then people believe it. Because, I'm this big intellectual person, which I'm not. So I'm not. I'm just somebody who's being annoyed by nobody. opinion. So I'm gonna end here now. People who have an opinion, all those nobodies, and you're not in line with the narrative. Now you have to, as this Micheal Moreno's coach said, you have to be careful. You have to, be soft spoken and So what I'm offering, and this is going to be a once-off offer. I know of a very good tattoo artist, a really good, one of nobody's friends. So what I suggest is that if you want to, if you feel, that you have a right to oppose these leftist narrative ideologies, you can come and for free, the whole disclaimer that, like, oh, I'm not a racist, oh, I'm not a white, oh, I'm not, all these things that you continuously have to defend yourself, because this, all these, this verbal diarrhea that's going to throw at you. You have to have this disclaimer so that before you can start to even challenge the narrative or the argument, you have to first make sure they understand you have this, this is your position. That you're not a racist, that you feel justice, justice should be there for all, and all those things. For free, you can have this tattooed on your back. Okay, and then I'll include a flagellation whip, flagellating whip with some nasty spikes in it. Because when you have to go in, like a pauper, like bowed and show meekness and humbleness, and then you can flagellate yourself, but that's going to mess up the tattoo on your back. Your disclaimer that will be tattooed on your back. I'll have to think about this again. I'll get back to you. Okay. Thank you for listening.